Okay, I'm here with John Bartlett. Year number 1 of play-by-play for the NHL with the Canadiens under your belt now, under TSN 990. You'll start the season off perhaps with TSN 690. How did it all go, John?
Well, I think it was a great year. Unfortunately for the fans, things didn't go out too well for the hockey club. But, I thought it was a great year for TSN Radio, and it was a lot of fun. And we look forward, can't wait for training camp to come again and get ready for season number 2.
Did you learn anything new this year? Because you've been doing this for a long time, but did you learn anything new being an NHL broadcaster this year?
I learned that the travel can be a lot easier than riding the bus in the American League all the time. It's kind of nice when you can get home in your own bed a lot earlier when you're a few hours away from before. So that's always a nice part. People always ask, what's the biggest difference? I say the travel. It's a lot easier.
You got to know the team, the players very well. What kind of group was it, the Canadiens team?
You know what? Despite everything that went on, it really is a great dressing room that they have in there. There's a lot of character players, and I think that's one of the reasons that next year I expect a much better finish than 15th. I think it was an unfortunate year, a lot of snowballs, one event after the other, but there's a lot of really good character players in that dressing room, and I expect a much better season next year. A bunch of great guys.
I mean, after the LA Kings won the Stanley Cup, being an 8th seed, I guess anything's possible. No one should make predictions that the Canadiens can't go very far next year.
LA, yeah, exactly. I mean, they had a bad year. They played under expectations. They squeaked in an 8th spot and hit their stride at the right time. You look at how they went through the playoffs, and I don't think anyone have ever expected LA to roll through the way they did and so successfully. So that just goes to show you just have to get the invite to the dance, and you never know, you might end up with a cup in the end.
You had 2 color commentators, 2 former NHLers, Bobby Dallas and Sergio Messo. How was it like working with each guy?
It was great. Both of them give great insights. Ex-players always have that different view of the game and the ice, and they're both a lot of fun to hang out with. So I think it was a great year for that, and great to see different insights in the game.
You did a couple of interviews with Pierre Gauthier, but he was not the most accessible GM, and now we have Marc Bergevin. Looks like he will be more accessible. How much does that make your job easier, perhaps, as someone who needs to talk to these guys?
Well, I don't know if it's so much as to what makes my job easier. I think it's something just so the fans can feel a little more relation to the general manager, to the coach, to the staff, and that's something Jeff Molson, I think, stressed during the search process. That communication was going to be something that would be a bit of a priority, and so I think more so, not for me, but for the fans, I think they'll feel a little difference now, where maybe you'll have a chance to hear more from people in the organization, which as a fan is always nice to have.
And Michel Therrien, a very fiery guy, that should be pretty good for interviews as well.
Yeah, and the thing about Michel Therrien, as I joked with him in the interview, is now that he's been in the media for a little while, he gets a sense of what it's like on the other side of the fence. And some other coaches have gone through this too, where you really do get an appreciation for what happens on the media side and why. So when you come back into the coaching role, you have a little more of an understanding as to why things are the way they are on the outside. So that'll probably be a bonus for him, and something maybe he'll even have a little fun with now this time.
Last question, do you believe there will be a collective bargaining agreement in place before September 15th and that there will be a regular season next year?
Yeah, well, we hope so. I certainly don't think we're going to miss a whole year, and hopefully we won't miss any time. Fingers crossed that they'll have some talks over the summer and be able to work things out. And, I like to be the optimist to think that we'll be okay, and, they'll be able to start on time. But you never know with these processes and negotiations. We'll see how everything works out. But hopefully, we won't miss any hockey.
All right, John, thanks a lot, and enjoy your summer.
No problem. Have a good summer, everyone.
All right. Great.